Today, we become legends.
So you guys seem to really enjoy my initial Smite Season 9 data mining video that I did, where I looked at all the data mining on SmiteDataMining.com for the new season. And I got a lot of comments saying that with Jukesloth kind of gone from the Smite scene, data mining videos pretty much aren't just getting made, so I decided to pick up the mantle on that and try to create content that's a worthy successor. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. We've got the 9.2 Datamining here, which has a lot of information on new gods mostly, but also some new skins coming, some new events. Potentially Classic Conquest is mentioned here as well, so a lot of exciting stuff to go over, so we'll just jump in. And as always, before we start, this is data mining, it's not official information from Hi-Rez. Things are always subject to change, you know, anything listed here could be completely different in the real game, but usually data mining is like fairly accurate, you know, like 90% accurate or something like that. It'll get a few things wrong, but the general idea of what's being data mined here is probably coming to the game. So firstly, we have a ton of new skins that we know are coming, also a ton of voice packs and things like that. You can look at these in your own time if you want. I'm not going to showcase every single voice pack and every single skin that might be coming in a bunch of future updates, because that would just take forever in the video essentially, but yeah, they're there if you want them. This is SmiteDatamining.com if you want to look at them. And we've got some more new skins and stuff like that, as well as some event stuff. So unrelated event items, here is what I'm pretty excited about. Classic Conquest returns. So I'm not entirely sure what this is going to mean. You know, what is Classic Conquest? Is it the very original Conquest map? Is it, you know, the beta Conquest map? Is it the 2014 Conquest map that we launched with? You know, what is Classic Conquest? No one's really going to know until they kind of reveal this. And for me, I would personally love to see a return to the classic side jungles maps. That was from like closed beta, I believe, so maybe like 2012, possibly 2013. We had jungles on the sides of duo lane and solo lane that were like actually expansive jungles, not like we have on duo lane now where it's just like a little area with a Droga. There was actually like an expansive jungle with 3 different camps on each side of the lane, and I'd love to see a return to that. You know, it'd be a completely different meta from the current Conquest map with side jungles, and a lot of different characters will become viable on that map that aren't really viable on the current Conquest map, and I think it'd be really cool to see. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for Classic Conquest. We'll probably get more information on it as we get closer to the time, either via data mining or like some kind of reveal trailer or something like that. But yeah, very excited to return to Classic Conquest. I really enjoyed Classic Joust when that returned. You know, it's probably going to return as an adventure, by the way, like, because they're not going to replace the entire Conquest map for it. They're going to keep the current Conquest map, obviously. You know, they're not just going to delete that Conquest map and replace it with Classic Conquest. I highly doubt that. So we're most likely going to see this as an adventure, as like a side mode you can play alongside regular Conquest. A bunch of new skins, a birthday event. So this is obviously Smite's birthday event. I mentioned this in a video a while back actually, so it's interesting that we're now getting data mining on it. But Smite's about to be a decade old essentially, so it's no surprise that they're doing some kind of birthday event. Smite was launched in 2012 into closed beta. It's not a decade since the game released, because that was in 2014, but it's a decade since the game came into closed beta and sort of like the wider public had access to the game essentially. So it's going to be a 15-day event, so pretty long, some quests for each day. There's going to be an Izanami tier 5, so that's interesting to know. We know what the next tier 5 skin is going to be. The Izanami skin has some kind of card draws, so it might be some kind of like magician Izanami skin or something like that, where it does some tricks with cards. I'm not really sure what that means really. You roll cards for each kill or assist, so presumably that this is the way the skin evolves or something like that. Like you roll certain cards and maybe they're randomized and give you like a certain visual upgrade. So like you might roll the like spiked robes visual upgrade. I don't know, that sounds terrible because it's not in Izanami's theme whatsoever, but maybe it adds like spikes to Izanami's robes and the skin and stuff like that. So maybe you draw a random card each time you get a kill or assist, and that kind of augments your skin in a different way, something like that. I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but we'll see. Then patch 9.3, birthday event still going on. We're going to get some new chests and new skins, a new community skin and a cutesy chibi skin for those that are interested in those. A couple of new chests, new skins, more skins, 120 God Mastery avatar in patch 9.4, so presumably we'll get a God release in patch 9.4, and that'll be God 120, I assume. That's why they're adding the 120 God Mastery avatar in that same patch. So yeah, God 120 most likely coming in patch 9.4. More skins, upcoming bundles. Yes, we have the Imperial Heaven bundle, Jade Empire bundle, Valiant Hero bundle, Chivalrous Hero bundle. These are all like related to the gods that are going to be coming, which I'm going to be discussing in literally a second, so I'm just going to skip over these and discuss them when I go into the gods. And we're also going to be getting a Divine Uprising event that goes from patch 9.4 to 9.6, so those are kind of like mini Odysseys in a way. There might be a tier 5 skin for it. It could be the Izanami tier 5 that we were talking about earlier, but I think that's for the birthday event, so most likely not. We might see even another tier 5 that goes into Divine Uprising. And so yeah, here's a lot of the most important information in my opinion. We have Deity 120, Deity 121, and Deity 122. Got a fair bit of detail on these now. So Deity 120 is confirmed as Huang. So we kind of knew it was going to be the Jade Emperor based on the reveal trailer that we got for all the God releases for the new season. That like 2-minute like teaser they gave us. There was like heavy references to the Jade Emperor in that, and so we kind of knew it was going to be the Jade Emperor. But we now know like what character and what interpretation they're going for it, and it's Huang. So the Jade Emperor is the supreme ruler of the heavens. Disciples of Huang would gather in his palace to receive his blessing, which was said to give the authority to command gods in Chinese mythology. There are two popular origin myths for the Jade Emperor and how he came to his power. One is that he's a simple mortal man named Zhang Denglai. Denglai in Chinese means wait a second, and when the new Jade Emperor was being selected, the arbiter said Denglai and he meant wait as he announced it. Zhang Denglai leapt from his seat and accepted the blessing of the Jade Emperor before the arbiter could retract his mistake. The second myth is more of a godly one, where the Jade Emperor was born blessed with unearthly compassion and charity and devoted his childhood to helping people before ascending to the throne of Emperor. Depending on which of these two core myths they focus on, Huang could be an assassin / trickster, or he could be a charitable and compassionate emperor from birth, which definitely suggests a guardian. This could also be warrior, but given that Shiva was the most recent god and he's a warrior, I highly doubt they will release two warriors back to back. So deity 121, we're not like fully confirmed on yet, but we basically know it's going to be Lancelot at this point. So while doing a deep scan with deity 121 possible names and using all the stored data from data mining, I was able to track down Lancelot has been in the file since 6.7. So around the time when Arthur was released, maybe a little after, Lancelot's been in the file. So they've clearly been considering Lancelot for the game for a while. He says, it's just a mention of Lancelot. I guess they had Lancelot in the mind since release of Arthur and Merlin. Yeah, but was pushed back. That doesn't mean he's confirmed, but just so you know. So yeah, again, not confirmed, but since he's been in the files for a long time, they've clearly been wanting him to be added. A lot of the things in the reveal trailer line up, like the horse and stuff like that. It just seems to make sense that this god will be Lancelot. I think it's a very high chance they will be. So Lancelot is obviously one of the greatest knights of the Round Table in Arthurian mythology, father of Galahad, which some thought could be this god, but it appears to be Lancelot so far, not Galahad. Rescuer and lover of Guinevere, partially trained in chivalry by the Lady of the Lake. Later in life, his love for Guinevere, Arthur's wife, would lead him down a path of betrayal that brought about the destruction of the Round Table and the death of Arthur. So Lancelot could be an assassin based on these themes and the fact that we have a Season 9 warrior already with Shiva, but it could also be a second warrior. Given this god isn't directly after Shiva and it's a few god releases down the line, I think that will be fine to have a second warrior. We definitely have seen classes get 2, sometimes 3 gods in one season before, and Lancelot of course does make sense as a warrior with him being a knight of the Round Table. And finally we have deity 122, which is probably going to be Jumong. So yeah, he says here it's still so early, 3 deities ahead, so we'll see how this ends. So a new mention of Jumong was added into the files. Jumong was already in the files for a long time, but this line is new, Jumong combo buff. So yeah, essentially Jumong has been in the game file since about 2012, 2013, when the game was like super young, but he was never actually added, so like they clearly had an idea to add him in like the very early days of Smite, but then decided to go against it and not add him and maybe add some different gods. And so it would make sense for this god to be Jumong, given that, similar to Lancelot before, they've kind of like had a thought about adding him to the game before, and it just kind of makes sense that they would add him now. It also makes sense a lot with what we saw in the reveal trailer with the arrow and like the kind of holy themes. So Jumong was renowned for his amazing archery, has strong ties to holy things and light, and he was worshipped as a god king. He escaped his city of birth as others grew envious of his archery while he was growing up, and he founded a new city. His birth was a miraculous, holy one, with Jumong's mother becoming pregnant for seemingly no reason. It was said that the light followed her wherever she went, and then she just became pregnant. Jumong is almost certainly a hunter, given the constant references to his archery prowess, and could also have some holy themes potentially. Maybe like some strong focuses on healing, which is pretty uncommon in a hunter. You don't see like a hunter healer, really. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the data mining, so this is just the god lineup guesses. So deity 120, which is the one coming after Shiva, we basically know it's going to be the Jade Emperor at this point, Huang. Deity 121, we don't know the name yet, but almost certainly going to be Lancelot. Deity 122, almost certainly going to be Jumong. Deity 123 and 124, we have no data mining information on yet, but it's been a lot of guesses that it will be Maui and Maman Brigitte, so we'll see when they come around. But yeah, that's it from me. If you enjoyed looking at this data mining, be sure to subscribe to the channel, as I'm going to try and keep you guys up to date with all these data mining posts that are coming out and things like that, since Dukesoft's no longer covering it. But other than that, I'll catch you guys in another video later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.